What makes a story truly endure for generations? I mean, the kind that really captures your imagination, gets played and replayed, Some tales just stick around, don't they?
They really do. And I think what separates the legendary ones, it isn't just a good story. It's how they tap into something universal, allowing for reinvention, but keeping that core identifiable
Yeah,
thing.
that core identity, they become living mythologies almost.
Exactly. Living, breathing things.
And that idea, that living mythology, is perfect because today we're doing a deep dive into exactly that kind of saga,
Mm-hmm.
the huge universe of The Legend of Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
Our guide today is The Legend of Zelda Encyclopedia, this massive collection they put out for the 30th anniversary.
Yeah, and it's more than just a fact book. It really gets into the details, the lore, the history, even the contradictions sometimes, and the characters that make Hyrule and all those other places tick. It's like a scholarly look almost.
It really is.
Yeah.
So our mission today, let's unpack this amazing tapestry. The lore, the characters, yeah, but also the design thinking behind it all.
Finding those essential bits of knowledge, maybe some surprising facts.
Exactly, those aha moments that make Hyrule and, all its connected worlds just so captivating. We'll look at how that struggle for courage, power, wisdom, how it's evolved.
Through all those timelines and the game design innovations too.
Right, so, okay, let's dive into these sources.
Okay, well, starting right at the beginning, the encyclopedia lays out Hyrule's divine foundation. It's quite elegant, really. 3 golden goddesses.
Din, Nayru, and Farore.
That's them. Din, power. She literally shaped the land. Nayru, wisdom, brought order, magic. And Farore, courage, created all life. It's the blueprint for the whole thing, really.
Those core virtues, Link, Zelda, Ganondorf, it all maps back.
Pretty much. And when they left behind their ultimate gift, you could say.
The Triforce.
Oh.
Those 3 golden triangles symbolizing their power, left to grant the wish of whoever touches it.
But they didn't just leave the world empty. They entrusted it and the Triforce to another goddess, Hylia.
Right. And she faced her own challenge pretty quickly with demise.
Yeah, a huge one. The encyclopedia really highlights her sacrifice. Seeing she couldn't permanently destroy Demise, she gave up her divinity, chose to be reborn as a Hylian.
As Princess Zelda.
As Princess Zelda, yeah. Destined to work with a hero, Link, to finally beat Demise. That sets up the whole cycle, that eternal struggle we see again and again.
And that brings us to the core trio, the Trinity of Destiny, as the book called it. Link, the hero, always with the Master Sword, the courage piece.
Princess Zelda, Hylia's descendant, with the wisdom part.
And Ganondorf, king of evil, leader of the Gerudo, always after that Triforce of power, often consumed by it.
Their roles are just fundamentally linked, reborn across time, locked in this battle.
You mentioned across time, and that gets us into one of the most, debated parts of Zelda lore.
Yeah.
The timelines.
Oh, yeah. The encyclopedia points straight at Ocarina of Time as the critical point. The ending of that game literally splits the timeline into 3 distinct paths.
It's kind of wild how one game's ending fractures the whole universe.
It is, and it wasn't just for show. It allows for such different stories and consequences down the line.
So tell us a bit more about those paths. What does the encyclopedia say about what they, mean?
Okay, so it maps them out clearly. Path 1. The hero is defeated, timeline, grim stuff. Ganon actually wins in Ocarina.
Wow, okay.
He gets sealed eventually by the sages, but not before his evil transforms the sacred realm itself into the Dark World, the one we see in A Link to the Past.
So the Dark World is the sacred realm, just corrupted.
Exactly. It shows that even the hero failing has massive world-altering consequences in the lore. It adds this tragic layer.
So even a game over screen could technically be canon somewhere. Intense.
Pretty much. Then path 2 is the adult timeline. Ganon's beaten, sealed away, but Link goes back to his own time.
Leaving that future timeline without its hero.
Right. Which eventually leads to Hyrule flooding, the Great Sea, the world of Wind Waker, victory, but at the cost of the kingdom itself, really.
A very different kind of outcome. And the third one?
The child timeline. Link successfully goes back, warns everyone, prevents Ganondorf's initial takeover. This leads to Ganondorf eventually being banished, but to the Twilight Realm, setting up that game.
Twilight Princess. Okay, so each path explores different themes. Loss, perseverance, a changed world.
Exactly. Hope looks different in each one.
It's incredible how that one branching point created so much possibility. But Hyrule isn't the only place these stories happen, is it?
Not at all. The encyclopedia makes it clear the legends stretch way beyond Hyrule. We get this whole multiverse of other realms.
And the book suggests this isn't just, like, random extra locations.
No, it really underscores this idea that reality itself can be fragile, dreamlike, corrupted. It constantly makes you question Link's mission, what saving the world even means sometimes.
That's a deep cut. So these other worlds, they often mirror Hyrule's light world.
Often, yeah. Take the Dark World again. Like we said, it is the sacred realm, just totally warped by Ganon's evil heart.
And that's why Link turns into a rabbit there in the Link to the Past, until he gets the Moon Pearl.
Precisely. It shows how these other realms fundamentally change things, even Link himself. His identity, his abilities, they shift.
And then there's the Twilight Realm from Twilight Princess.
Hmm.
That one felt very different.
It is. The encyclopedia explains its origins, the shadowy place where these magic-using Hylians, the interlopers, were banished by the light spirits way back.
Because they went after the Triforce.
Exactly, and they eventually evolved into the Twilight, living in Hyrule's shadow, literally, and of course it's where Ganondorf gets banished in that child timeline.
Showing how evil can just fester and spread, even across dimensions, influencing people like Zant.
Yeah, it's a fascinating look at consequences echoing through different realities.
But some worlds are even stranger, right? Like
Yeah.
almost on a different plane.
Definitely. Termina from Majora's Mask is a prime example. A world doomed to be crushed by its moon in 3 days.
That 3-day loop mechanic. Intense.
Super intense. Link has to relive those days, gathering masks, helping people, trying to summon the 4 giants to stop the Skull Kid and the mask. And the encyclopedia points out something really poignant.
What's that?
Once Link leaves, Termina, having been saved essentially,
Yep.
ceases to exist in that specific form.
Whoa. So it was real while he was there, but its time was tied to that crisis. That makes the interactions with everyone there feel even more meaningful somehow.
It really does. And talking about fleeting realities, Koholint Island from Link's Awakening is maybe the ultimate example.
The dream world.
Entirely within the dream of the Windfish, this giant sky whale spirit. The encyclopedia highlights how the island just vanishes when the Windfish wakes up.
But Link remembers it. That ending is so bittersweet.
It really is. It elevates the whole thing beyond just a quest. It's about existence, memory, maybe sacrifice.
And then you've got Lorule from The Link Between Worlds. That one's described as a true parallel world.
Yeah, a direct counterpart to Hyrule, complete with his own Triforce only. Theirs is shattered, and their world is decaying.
Which leads Princess Hilda to try and steal Hyrule's Triforce.
Desperate measures. Until Ravio, her own advisor who fled to Hyrule, persuades her there has to be another way. It's this great story about choices and consequences mirrored across dimensions.
It really hammers home that theme of choice impacting entire worlds, not just your own.
Absolutely. These different worlds show the sheer creative freedom the series embraces. And that freedom, that constant reinvention, it comes from the people making the games.
Yeah, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's not just the lore evolving. It's the actual game design philosophy changing over time.
Which keeps it fresh, right?
Totally. And this raises a big question. How do you keep a series going for decades without it getting stale, but also without losing what makes it special?
Well, the encyclopedia gives us some amazing insights from Eiji Aonuma. He started way back, designing dungeons for Ocarina of Time, and now he's the series producer. He talks a lot about revising expectations.
Revising expectations. How so?
He talks about that classic Zelda dungeon formula, you know the one. Go into a dungeon, beat a mini-boss, get an item, use that item for puzzles, beat the boss.
Yeah, pretty standard.
He calls it a straight path. Very strict order for getting items. Almost like a guided tour, he says.
And the encyclopedia mentions he found that frustrating.
Yeah, he did. He talks about how developers would have to actively plug up shortcuts, stop players finding clever ways around the intended sequence. He compared it to dropping boulders to block paths.
Which sounds kind of limiting, like it takes away player freedom.
Exactly. It limited player agency, that joy of discovery, which is why Breath of the Wild was such a shakeup.
Right. That game felt completely different.
Because it was. The encyclopedia details how Aonuma and the team made a conscious choice not to steal player fun. They designed for shortcuts, let you climb anything. They wanted those, wait, I can do that too, moments.
I remember reading that if testers found a clever workaround, they'd often leave it in.
Yeah, he said the response wasn't fix that bug, it was that's by design, let players find it. A total shift in thinking.
And this wasn't just about big mechanics like climbing, was it? They questioned smaller things, too.
Oh yeah. Aonuma jokes in the encyclopedia about rupees in the grass. Like,
Yeah.
is the grass growing rupee fruit? Who hit them there? It doesn't make much logical sense, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, never thought about it like that.
So in Breath of the Wild, cutting grass gives you bugs or materials for crafting and cooking. It's more integrated, more logical within the world.
That makes sense. It's not just game mechanics, it's world consistency.
And they even question Link's look. The green tunic, the hat, even him being left-handed traditionally.
Wait, really? Link's look is iconic.
It is. But the encyclopedia mentions how for Twilight Princess on the Wii, because most players use the right-handed motion controls, they actually mirrored the entire game world.
Just so Link would be right-handed on screen when players swung the remote.
Exactly. It shows this willingness to challenge even deeply ingrained traditions if it improves the player's experience or accessibility.
That's surprisingly flexible for such a long-running series.
But despite all that change, Aonuma stresses there's one constant. The encyclopedia really emphasizes this. The player growing alongside Link.
Ah, that feeling of progression.
Yeah. Starting small, maybe with just a stick, and building up your abilities, your arsenal, solving tougher puzzles, beating bigger bosses. That sense of accomplishment, that journey of growth, that's the unchanging core.
Not the tunic, not the handedness, but the growth. I like that.
Then it's interesting, the encyclopedia reveals that even though he's so involved, Aonuma's main driver is seeing fans enjoy the games.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he admits he gets bored easily. But he stays with Zelda because he loves seeing players react, loves that shared experience. He compares it to his hobbies, like cooking for people or playing in his wind instrument club. It's about the audience.
That adds a really human touch to it all. It's not just about code and pixels.
Definitely. And the book's full of little anecdotes like that. Fun behind-the-scenes stuff.
Like what?
Well, the Gust Jar item, apparently inspired by a magic gourd in the Chinese novel Journey to the West.
No way.
Yeah. And for Phantom Hourglass, they studied Majora's Mask's time loop to get their own time pressure right. The train idea in Spirit Tracks came from a picture book Aonuma read to his kids.
That's brilliant. Just everyday life sparking game ideas.
Even Wolf Link in Twilight Princess came from a dream Aonuma had about being a wolf locked in a cage.
Okay, that's wild.
And there's a funny story about Linebeck's theme music needing to sound less sad because, well, he's supposed to be a greedy pirate type. These little things show the creative process, the human element behind these huge games.
It's amazing how much detail goes into it. Let's shift slightly, maybe touch on some of the other lore details the encyclopedia clears up.
Yeah.
Like the different races
The Kokiri, for example. Those kids in the forest in Ocarina.
who never grow up.
Right. The encyclopedia reveals they're actually Hylians. They just chose to live apart under the great Deku Tree's protection, which grants them that eternal childhood.
So they chose that life. And the thing about dying, if they leave the forest.
Not really a curse, it's just aging. Once they step outside the Deku Tree's protective magic, time catches up. The book clarifies that after certain events in the game, they actually can leave and live normal lifespans.
That completely reframes them. They're not magical sprites. They're Hylians who made a specific choice.
With consequences.
Exactly. It adds depth. And speaking of depth and details, the Hylian language itself,
Oh yeah, the writing you see everywhere.
the encyclopedia shows how it's evolved across different games, different eras, Skyward Sword script, Ocarina script, Twilight Princess script. They're distinct alphabets.
It's not just random symbols?
Nope, it's aesthetic, sure, but they function as alphabets. Translations are tricky, though, because sometimes one Hylian character can stand for multiple English letters.
Like a puzzle for dedicated fans to decode. Pretty much. In the Skyward Sword alphabet, the same symbol can be D or W. It shows incredible attention to detail, even for background stuff.
That level of detail is exactly what the encyclopedia seems packed with.
Oh, absolutely. For anyone wanting to go super deep, the book itself is this massive archive. Hundreds of items, monsters, dungeons, towns, all detailed, plus development notes for each game.
So it's a real treasure trove for fans.
Definitely. A testament to the world they've built over decades.
So, okay, wrapping this up. We've explored Zelda's legacy, right? From the goddesses and those branching timelines.
To all those diverse worlds, the Dark World, Twilight Realm, Termina, Lorule.
And then dug into the design philosophy, how people like Aonuma keep challenging assumptions, keep evolving the gameplay.
While holding on to that core feeling of growth and accomplishment.
Yeah, this deep dive, guided by the encyclopedia, has really peeled back some layers, hasn't it? shown the why behind its enduring appeal.
It really has, and it feels like Link's journey often mirrors our own journey as players, discovering the world, getting stronger.
And the creator's willingness to just reinvent things, to ask, what if? That's key.
That's what keeps it alive, keeps it pushing boundaries in storytelling and games.
So thinking about all this, how Zelda constantly changes, yet stays true, it leaves us with a thought, maybe for you listening. What expectations do you hold for a truly legendary story? And, how might those expectations need to change for future adventures?
Something to ponder.
Definitely. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive.